Hello, welcome back. This is Anna from Practical and Pretty. Today I'm sharing a red, white, and blue spiral with you. Ice dyed, which is my favorite, of course. One day I'll do more liquid, but today is not that day. So you start by finding the center. Some people measure this. I just kind of eyeballed it. One thing I will note as well is that this shirt is quite wet. It's damp, but you can see it's kind of sticking to the table. That's what you want for it to get really tight. That's been something I have discovered for myself. Take your time doing this. The details matter. The tightness matters. I like to really take my time with the spiral. I'm using magic tracks here to secure it so that the ice can go on. One thing I like to do too is flip it over because the bottom of the spiral is usually more flat. So I just flip it over with the magic tracks. Then I drew with a washable marker into thirds here. My choice was to do, well, you'll see. The pattern is white, red, blue, white, red, blue. I'm just here filling in the lines so that they're a little bolder. So I started with Cobalt Blue. Clearly haven't labeled this one yet, but that's what it is. Cobalt Blue. I use these like milkshake spoons. They have a longer stem. Is that what you call them? Handle? They have a longer handle on them, and so it makes it a little easier to get them in there. But you can also use just plastic. So then in this wedge here, I'm doing the color Fire Red. Both of these colors are Dharma, which is my usual. Sometimes I use a different brand, but if I don't ever specify, it's typically Dharma. So I'm just sprinkling this in as best I can. It, of course, will spread once you add the ice. So here I am adding the ice. You don't have to get it fully covered. I'm not gonna lie, with this one, if I did it again, I would probably use a little less dye. This was a little more saturated than I wanted. So I let it sit out in the sun. It's hot out here. It's like 110 degrees. So I let it sit out in the sun for about 4 hours, and then it sat overnight in the heat outside. I'm starting here by rinsing it with cool water to just get off the soda ash a little bit. I thought about editing down this rinse out process, and I did edit out the very end where I am really squeezing out just the suds of the Dawn dish soap, but I wanted to show the amount of time it really takes to get that color out. So this is sped up 5 times, but it still shows how much work it is to rinse in cold water, get that color out as much as you can, have the water run as clear as you can get it, then bump up the water to hot. And once you do that, you'll see more color come out with the hot water. Then what I like to do is put Dawn dish soap with it, and after that I wash it in a hot, I have a setting on my washer of extra hot, so I do an extra hot wash with Synthropol. One thing I've found is some people like to boil, and I've done that before where I've boiled the water out, the color out, and that works well, but I get color in my white when I do that. So anyway, here's the final result. I made this for 4th of July, but a lot of flags have red, white, and blue, and some people just like red, white, and blue, so here's my take on it. Hope you liked it. Follow along for more.